7 questions in 10 minutes, that's not a lot of time, so I'm going to get into it straight away. If there's one thing I could change about the YouTube atheist community, what would it be? Well, there's only one thing I can change about the YouTube atheist community, and that's what I do in the YouTube atheist community. So I would try, as I do, to keep it interesting, to keep it unexpected, to keep it surprising, to keep it varied, and to keep it amusing. And as long as I feel that there are some people who are still interested in what I'm doing, I'll keep going. Question 2. If I could convince just one religious person to abandon their beliefs, who would it be? The Pope. But I wouldn't want him to become an atheist, because then a lot of people will just, okay, be shocked maybe, but they would just dismiss him, saying, "Ah, no, he's become an atheist, he's started thinking, he's gone a little bit lula," but they just dismiss him. No, I would love the Pope to become a Muslim. And then the fanatics from both sides of that fence would be all over each other trying to explain what the hell is going on, and we could just all sit back, relax, and have a good laugh at them all. Question 3. What upbringing did I have and how did it influence me? Well, I was brought up, nominally anyway, as a Catholic, but in all fairness that didn't really feature very much. It was not an important part of my upbringing. It was there in the background. I did a few things like communion and confirmation, but overall it wasn't really that important. And that helped because in all fairness then I was open to looking at people from very different backgrounds, and I soon realized that there was absolutely no way I could explain how I could possibly be right and they could possibly be wrong. And if you just think a little bit about that, then poof, your belief just disappeared. Well, mine did anyway. What is my most controversial viewpoint with regard to atheism? Well, there are actually 2, I think, and they'd both be up there. The first one is that I will have no truck with the whole objective version versus subjective dichotomy. It's a false dichotomy, I'm not buying it. So ultra-objectivists like Ayn Rand and all that nonsense, they can go jump in the lake. It's nonsense. There's no such thing as objective reality as opposed to subjective reality. There's just reality. That's all there is. Now, reality is internally consistent, and as a result, reality will present itself in a way that will appear objective, in a practical sense anyway. And there are certain things we can certainly say, we can state things beyond any reasonable doubt, like the Earth is round and it revolves around the Sun, and the planet is 4.5 billion years old at least, and life has been evolving on it all that time. Those sort of things. We can state them as facts. But a fact is different from an objective truth, definitely in the philosophical sense of the word. And this deep philosophical sense of objective and subjective, I think, is a pure fabrication. It makes no sense. So in that way, I think I'm just a little bit outside the norm. The other sense is that a lot of atheists would be very rationally minded, which I can be. And if you look at my playlist, for example, and you look at my ontology playlist, for example, my free will and so on, there are a number of in which I can be quite rational, quite straight down the middle, but I have absolutely no problem with taking a moral, subjective, between brackets again, subjective, emotional look at things and coming to conclusions from that perspective. So what I would always put to a theist, if they asked me, was there are a number of reasons why I'm an atheist, and there's 2 things I will do with your God. I do not believe in your God, and I reject your God. They're 2 different things. I do not believe in your God for rational, logical reasons, and I reject your God for emotional, moral reasons. Question 5. What scientific endeavor excites me the most? I don't know. I love science, period. Any science. is great, in my opinion. I do like interstellar exploration. I am quite excited by the idea of people revisiting the moon and going on to Mars. I do like the idea of stem cell research, biological advances, microscopical nanotechnology. I can't just pick one thing and say this is the greatest. No, sorry. Of the four horsemen, Dawkins, Dennett, Hitchens and Harris, which one would be my favorite? That would have to be Daniel Dennett. The guy is brilliant, and he is, on the one hand, a completely unrepentant atheist. An uncompromising, unrepentant atheist. And on the other hand, he is still able to look at belief and see how it can sometimes benefit the person who has it, even though he can absolutely not share it, and he will always find a naturalistic explanation for anything he encounters. And his books are just amazing. From Darwin's Dangerous Idea to Freedom Evolves, it is all mind-opening, eye-opening stuff. Dawkins is great as well. He really is good at popularizing biology and evolution. But Dennett is in a class of his own. The other two guys, I'm not too keen on. I haven't read much of them either. My least favorite theistic argument, finally, is Pascal's wager, and for a very simple reason. It just labels the person who brings it into the discussion as lazy and stupid, straight away. For a very simple reason. It doesn't take much to find out that Pascal's wager has been debunked, even if you don't even know that the thing is called Pascal's wager. If you Google a little bit creatively, you will A, first of all, soon find out that it's called Pascal's wager, and B, or secondly, you will find out very quickly why it's a completely nonsensical argument. So somebody bringing that argument into a discussion shows themselves to be stupid, lazy, and not worthy of any debate. And my refutation, well, I would just love to tell them to F off. Simple as that. And that's my 7 answers to the 7 questions. I hope you enjoyed them, and if you haven't seen these before or you haven't done one yet, please do.